Welcome back to Have More Babies. We're here to give you those valuable insights into health and science that, really matter in our busy lives.
Glad to be back.
So today, we're looking at something probably sitting in your cabinet right now. Zinc oxide.
Ah, yes, the white stuff.
Exactly. It's in diaper cream, it's in sunscreen. But we want to go beyond just knowing the name. We want to dig into why it works so well for kids' skin, why they call it the Swiss Army knife of pediatric skincare.
That's a good way to put it.
Have you ever actually stopped, while slathering on that thick cream and thought, what is this actually doing? How does it work?
That really is the key question. Most people recognize it, maybe know it helps with diaper rash, but the how is often missed. We're going to unpack the mechanics behind it today.
Perfect. So let's start basic. If we're thinking like chemists for a second, what is zinc oxide?
Okay, fundamentally, it's a chemical compound, ZNO. It usually starts as this fine white powder.
Mhm.
For skincare, it's then formulated into creams, ointments, pastes.
Right, the thick stuff we see.
Exactly. And its main job, its classification in medical terms, is as a skin protectant. That's crucial.
Skin protectant, not moisturizer, not something else.
Correct. Its primary role isn't to hydrate or get absorbed deep down. It's all about defense, creating a barrier.
Okay, a barrier, but how does that work physically? Like what's happening on the skin?
So this is where it gets interesting. Unlike a lot of skincare ingredients designed to penetrate the skin, zinc oxide particles are, relatively speaking, quite large and very stable. They don't really get absorbed into the skin layers or the bloodstream.
Uh-huh.
Instead, they sit right on top. They form this physical layer like a shield right on the skin's surface.
So it's literally a physical block. It's not reacting chemically with the skin.
Pretty much. It's quite inert, meaning it doesn't easily react or break down. It just sits there. That stability is a big reason why it's considered so safe, especially for sensitive skin.
Because it's not messing with the skin's biology. It's just blocking things.
Exactly. It's a passive defense. It physically blocks moisture, friction, irritants, even certain types of light, without asking the skin's own systems to do much. That's why it's great for babies or anyone with really reactive skin.
Okay, that makes sense. So that shield function, let's talk about the ultimate test, diaper rash.
Right. The classic use case.
Why is it the go-to for that?
Well, think about the diaper environment. It's constantly damp, there's friction from the diaper itself, and then you have urine and feces, which can be acidic and irritating.
A perfect storm for irritation.
Definitely. So zinc oxide comes in and acts like a bouncer at a club. It physically keeps that moisture and those irritants away from the skin surface, prevents them from causing trouble.
Keeping the unwanted guests out.
Yeah.
Got it. You mentioned earlier it's sometimes called a double win for rashes. So the barrier is win number one. What's the second part?
Right. That comes from its mild astringent property.
Astringent, like in old school skincare. What does that mean here?
It means it helps to slightly tighten or constrict the surface tissues, and importantly, helps to dry out moisture. So if the skin is already inflamed and maybe a bit weepy.
Which happens with bad rashes.
Exactly. The astringency helps to gently dry that surface moisture, which can soothe the irritation and allows the skin underneath to heal, all while the main barrier is still protecting it. So it soothes and protects.
Okay, that's the double action. So for parents listening, how do they make sure they're using it right, especially if there's already a rash? Any specific tips from the sources?
Yes, application is key and often slightly misunderstood. It's not just about slapping it on.
Right.
The most critical first step, make sure the area is completely clean and, crucially, completely dry.
Dry is the key word there.
Absolutely. If you put the cream on damp skin, you're essentially trapping that moisture against the skin underneath the barrier. That can actually make irritation worse, defeats the whole purpose.
Ah, okay. So clean, pat, thoroughly dry.
Thoroughly dry, then apply a generous layer. Don't feel you need to rub it all in until it disappears, especially for diaper rash. You want that visible white layer acting as the shield.
Let it sit on top as the barrier. Makes sense.
Exactly.
Okay, this is where it gets really interesting for me. Beyond the diaper, that Swiss Army knife idea, what else is this stuff good for?
Oh, yeah, it's definitely not just for babies' bottoms. Understanding its properties really opens up its uses. Probably the biggest one outside of diaper cream is sunscreen.
Mineral sunscreens are everywhere now. What makes zinc oxide so good at blocking the sun? Is it the same shield principle?
It is, but it works differently than traditional chemical sunscreens. Most chemical sunscreens get absorbed into the skin, and they work by absorbing UV radiation and converting it into heat. which the skin then releases.
Okay.
Zinc oxide doesn't do that. It stays on the surface, remember?
Hmm.
And its physical structure, its particles, literally reflect and scatter both UVA and UVB rays away from the skin.
So it's like tiny mirrors deflecting the sun.
That's a great analogy. Millions of tiny mirrors. It's a physical block, not a chemical absorption and conversion. That's why it works immediately upon application and why it's often recommended for very sensitive skin or babies, less potential for heat reaction or irritation from the filter itself.
Reflection versus absorption. That's a really clear distinction. Okay, so sunscreen is use number 2. What else is in the Swiss Army knife?
Number 3 would be for minor burns.
No.
Like, if a child briefly touches a hot pan after cooling the burn properly with water, of course.
Right, first aid first.
Always.
Hmm.
But after cooling, applying a layer of zinc oxide cream can help. Its inert nature provides a kind of physical soothing layer, protects the damaged skin, and those mild astringent properties might help prevent minor blistering or weeping. It reduces friction on the sensitive area, too.
Okay, minor burns. And the last one.
Chafing, you know, that irritation you get from skin rubbing against skin or skin rubbing against clothing, often in skin folds, like under the arms or between the thighs.
Yeah, that can be really uncomfortable.
Zinc oxide is great for that. It creates this smooth, protective, dry layer that reduces the friction. It lets the irritated skin underneath heal without being constantly rubbed raw.
Wow, okay. Sunscreen, minor burns, chafing. It really is versatile. It all comes back to that stable physical barrier thing.
Pretty much. Its power lies in its physical presence and its stability.
But hang on, this raises a question. If it's so safe because it doesn't get absorbed, why do all the packages say keep out of reach of children and warn against swallowing it? If it just sits there, what's the danger if ingested?
That's a really important point, and it can seem confusing. The safety profile we've been talking about is for topical use on the skin.
Right.
The danger with ingestion isn't because the compound itself is inherently poisonous in small amounts, but because of the concentration in these creams. Diaper creams can be 10%, 20%, even 40% zinc oxide.
That's quite high.
It is. So if a child were to eat a significant amount of the cream, they'd be ingesting a large dose of zinc mineral. That can overwhelm the digestive system and lead to things like stomach upset, vomiting, nausea, potentially even zinc toxicity if a very large amount was consumed.
So it's the sheer amount if swallowed, not the substance being dangerous on skin contact.
Exactly. It's a concentration issue. It needs to be treated like any medicine or concentrated product, external use only. Keep it stored safely away from little hands.
Okay, that clarifies the warning labels. So bring it all together. Topically, it remains one of the safest things we can put on kids' skin precisely because it doesn't get absorbed.
That's the bottom line. Its non-absorption is its strength, making it incredibly reliable as a physical protectant for a range of minor skin issues.
This has been super helpful. I feel like I understand that white cream so much better now. It's not just goo, it's this. Inert physical shield, doing multiple jobs, protecting, soothing, even blocking UV rays.
It really is a cornerstone product in pediatric skincare built on some fascinatingly simple yet effective physical principles.
Definitely.
And maybe here's a final thought for you, for everyone listening, to chew on. We've established that zinc oxide's success hinges on its physical barrier function, the fact that it doesn't get absorbed. So how does really understanding that mechanism maybe change how you look at other skincare products for your kids? Does that idea of physical defense first become more important than, say, focusing only on ingredients designed to sink in and be absorbed? Something to think about.
That really does shift perspective, doesn't it? Thinking about how things work, not just that they work. It empowers you to make different choices.
Hopefully.
Well, we really hope this breakdown has given you some useful, practical knowledge about something you probably use all the time. That's what we aim for here.
Informed decisions are always better decisions.
Absolutely. And if this information was helpful, or if you have other questions about your child's health, maybe immunizations or coughs and colds, lactation support, even things like managing weight, we strongly, strongly encourage you to check out omegapediatrics.com.
Yes, omegapediatrics.com is a fantastic resource. They cover a whole spectrum of pediatric care, preventative checkups, acute care when kids get sick, plus specialist services. They serve families across the North Atlanta metro area, including places like Roswell, Alpharetta, Milton, and nearby communities.
You can find everything there, details on all their services, how to make appointments, and really importantly, the full list of insurance they accept. That includes providers like Aetna, Blue Cross Blue Shield of Georgia, Humana, TRICARE, and Peach State Health Plan. It's all laid out clearly on omegapediatrics.com.
It really is a comprehensive starting point if you're looking for trusted pediatric care information and services in that area.
Definitely check it out. And one last thing. If you found this discussion useful today, please do us a quick favor. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and share this with other parents or anyone you think might find it interesting.
It helps us keep these conversations going. We really appreciate you tuning in and thinking through these topics with us.
Thanks so much for joining us on Have More Babies. Goodbye for now.
Goodbye, everyone.